is go around the block. What does that mean? I knew back in the day that I needed to change. I needed to embrace change. And I needed to work on myself, right? Years ago, I was a teacher. I was a behavioral health teacher. Behavioral modification teacher. We call it BMOD back in the day. BMOD, where I had kids that came from, that got suspended, kicked out of public schools. They came to us for crisis intervention and to working on the behavior, working on the emotion and behavior, control themselves to get through the process of school. And I took my knowledge, what I learned back then, to apply it to myself. I did BMOD to myself, guys, to work on myself, right? I knew I needed to embrace change. In order to embrace change, you gotta do activities in your life. I had to do activities in my life to betterment that change, to push that change, to make that change routine. So I would go around the block. What does that mean? Going to work, I would take different ways to work. Embracing change, right, guys? To and from work, I would take different routes back home, for example. I went out and put myself out there, out of my comfort zone. I joined a book club. I joined a telescope group on Facebook, right? I went to a seminar where I didn't know anybody. I went to a real estate seminar where I didn't know anybody, right? I not only reading The Total Money Maker by Dave Ramsey, I used that as a springboard to start reading other ways of personal growth and financial health books, right? So that's what I did to embrace change. That's what I did for myself. So I wanted to put myself out there like that, get myself out of my box, right? I went out to different restaurants, right, by myself. I went out to movie theaters by myself for the first time, right? I always thought that you had to go out to eat with other people, or go out to eat or go out to movies with other people. I did those things by myself, right? To help find the I in me, the individual in me. The God in me was to go out and reach in to pull out the individual in me, to fight society's pressure, society's stigmas, society's telling you what this thing should be about, right? So I wanted to change all that. So one of the greatest books I read in that process, guys, was what you saw in the pre-video, was a book called The Obstacle is the Way. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. A great book I recommend to anybody. The Obstacle is the Way is about people in history that you get where they want to go. They went through astronomical odds, great odds to improve their lives.